Hi everyone, I'm Edgar Velazquez with Monarch Claims, and today we're going to be doing a free policy review, or in this case, a free quote review. We had a client, actually it's not a client, it's somebody that saw that we offer free policy reviews, and they reached out because they're buying a house. So they want to know if the quote that they're getting from their agent is good. So let's go ahead and take a look. Upon doing a brief review of the quote, I came across this limited water damage coverage here, which in reality is not so much a coverage, it's a restriction to the policy. That means that any type of water damage that you have at the property will be limited to $10,000. Most water damage claims exceed the $10,000 mark. Assuming your entire house floods due to a pipe that burst, you're looking at easily $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. If you have this limit in your policy, you will only receive 10. That means you have to come out of pocket for the additional 20, the additional 30, whatever it may be. The second thing, this carrier, even though nothing is mentioned here in this quote, because we work with this carrier often, they like to invoke the right to repair. Basically, the insurance company, instead of giving you the money, what they'll do is they will send out a preferred contractor to do the repairs. Now, for somebody that doesn't know, that may seem like a great idea. Oh my God, my insurance company does everything for me. They adjust the claim, they send the repair. I don't have to worry about anything. The problem is that typically the contractors that are associated with the insurance company or that are subcontracted by the insurance company tend to do very menial work. There's a reason why they're preferred vendors. They get volume work from the carrier. So in exchange, they give the carrier huge discounts. And guess who suffers from those discounts? The client. The client pays for it in the sense that they're limited to the options that they have as far as doing the repairs. They don't get good quality work. And ultimately, you also have to come out of pocket and pay the deductible, whatever it may be. So that's important. Typically, for example, this policy that we're looking at has an all other perils deductible, which is what would apply in a typical water loss, since we're talking about water losses. So you would have to pay the insurance company this deductible. So it's important to keep that in mind when getting a quote, because when you do incur damage, you want to be able to have control of the repairs. You want to be able to get the money and do the repairs as you wish. Sometimes when a loss occurs, something major, it's a good opportunity to update your kitchen or to, change the floors, whatever it may be. You want to have that control. Something else that caught my attention was that this property has very little coverage amount for other structures. Other structures coverage applies to anything that is not attached to the structure of the home. So if you have a shed that's in the backyard, if you have a fence that doesn't touch the building or the structure of the home, these things would fall under other structures. This person in particular has only $8,000. So what I did was I went on Google Earth and I noticed that they had a large fence along the perimeter of the property. In the event of a storm, assuming that the entire fence goes down, which is very likely, that fence would likely cost them 20, 25 grand. In this case, because they have a limit of 8,000, that's all that they would receive. So my recommendation to them was to up that coverage to, at the very least, 25,000. Something else that caught my attention was this endorsement or this coverage, actual cash value for roof. And then it says no coverage. I don't really understand what that means, because typically losses at the very least are paid on actual cash value. So actual cash value means the depreciated value of the roof in this case. So let's say your roof is 15 years old, you would only get paid, depending on how it's depreciated, you would only get paid 50% of the roof. Let's just, to put an example, not to replace the entire roof. So even though I don't have the entire policy to know exactly what actual cash value for roof no coverage means, at the very least, I can recommend that client or that person, hey, talk to your agent and get clarification on this and see what it means so that you know what you're getting when you're buying this policy. I also reviewed the deductibles. It seems average. Nowadays, the all other perils deductible is $2,500. That's fine. The hurricane deductible, 2%, also fine. 2% of the dwelling coverage. It's 2% of this amount, which comes out to $7,974. That's fine. That's what's most common nowadays. One of the great benefits of doing a free policy review with us is that not only do we get to review your coverages and what applies and what doesn't, but you also get our opinion, or basically the opinion of the soldier in the trenches of the fights of coverage between the carriers and us. You get the opinion of the person that's actually reviewing the policy, that's interpreting coverage, that's fighting for coverage. So with this case in particular, with this quote, I was able to let the client know that this carrier, which we will not mention, is extremely difficult to work with. This is not a carrier that pays claims easily. So I advised her against going with this carrier. I told her to try to get additional quotes with different agents. Something to keep in mind is that different agents offer different carriers. So I told her, get different quotes and see if you could go with somebody else. Send them to us, and then we'll review it again, and we'll give you the same unbiased review that we're doing now. And she did. Number one, do not do it yourself unless you're an adjuster or an attorney. Number two, take everything that your agent says with a grain of salt. Remember, ultimately, the agent is not only your agent, but is also an agent of the carrier. They're selling the carrier's policy. They're selling the carrier's product. So they make money by selling that product. So, they want to sell these policies to you one way or another. I'm not saying that agents have bad intentions. I just think that to a certain extent, they're not fully informed of what these policies cover. And number three, and the most important, is I want to say call an adjuster, but I don't think anybody else offers the service that we offer. So I want to say, I want to say call us, and we'll do this review at no cost whatsoever, and we'll do it gladly. We don't get anything from it. What we get is a satisfaction that we know that in the event of a loss in the future, that you will be covered. And to us, that's more than enough. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you realize the value that this video has, and that you take it and you do something with it. And that something is sending us the policy for us to review it. Perfect. All right, catch you on the next one.